Welcome everyone to this week's video. Today we are on Fish Friday number 92 and we have a good one for you today. Unfortunately, I have come down with something miserable, so I apologize for my voice and for probably how I look, but you know what? You guys deserve a video. Today's fish that we're going to be talking about is a fish that is sought after by many fishermen and is known for its impressive fighting power. And my goodness, it just looks really cool. Today's fish that we're going to be talking about is the Atlantic Tarpon. So the Atlantic Tarpon, or scientific name Megalops atlanticus, again that is Megalops atlanticus. It is part of the family Megalopidae, which is the family of tarpons. There are only two species. There's the Atlantic tarpon, and then there's the Indo-Pacific tarpon, obviously found in the Pacific Ocean. Atlantic tarpon found in the Atlantic Ocean. It is usually found in the tropical and subtropical regions of the Atlantic Ocean, but it has been found as far north as Nova Scotia. And they can be found in estuaries, bays, and lagoons, and they can actually migrate relatively far upriver and even stay in freshwater. And there are freshwater populations of the Atlantic tarpon. In fact, there was a River Monsters episode where the scientist Jeremy Wade caught one, and this was deep in Nicaragua. Very, very deep in Nicaragua, definitely freshwater. As with most fish that are living in the ocean that migrate upriver, they are highly migratory even within the ocean. They are not just, they don't just stay in one spot. They migrate all over the place. And that migration pattern seems to be primarily driven by water temperatures. They prefer warmer water temperatures of 22 to 28 degrees Celsius, which is about 72 to 82 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, it is a large fish. It can get really large. They have been recorded up to 2.5 meters, which is just over 8 feet in length. And they can weigh up to 161 kilograms, which is about 355 pounds. I say that, but males will rarely weigh more than 100 pounds. If you see a larger fish, that is almost guaranteed to be a female. It has this deep bluish black coloration on its back and on its fins, but the sides are this bright silver. It does have extremely large fins, and it has these extremely large scales. You can see it a little bit better here. You can see just in proportion to the body, it's got really large scales. With this forked tail fin, that does tell you that this is a speedster. This fish can move. Now, something else to note about the Atlantic tarpon is that the lower jaw, you can see here, is actually protruding, and their entire mouth will protrude, and you can see it here. They really throw their mouth out. They're not eating a lot of these bigger fish like people think. They actually primarily eat like smaller insects, much smaller than you would think. But that's not to say they won't eat small fish. I'm just saying that primarily they're eating a lot less of that. In that mouth, there's actually a bunch of very small, densely packed teeth, and they're all over the mouth, on the tongue, deeper in the jaw. There's a ton of teeth. And the upper part of their mouth actually is like a hard, bony pad that allows them to crush any sort of insects. Something else interesting to note about the Atlantic tarpon is the tarpon have a modified swim bladder. Just like the alligator gar that we talked about before, the modified swim bladder actually allows them to live in oxygen poor environments, like some of those lagoons and estuaries. They have, alveolar tissue think like lung tissue that's been adapted into the swim bladder, and then a duct that connects the swim bladder to the esophagus. And it also has turned out, studies have actually shown that it is an obligatory air breather, meaning that it has to actually intake air to survive. Even when there is enough oxygen in the water for them to theoretically survive, they still must go up and actually gulp air from the surface. Basically just like the alligator are. Really interesting. The studies that have gone to this, really neat. It does have a pretty long lifespan. They can live around 55 years, with the oldest recorded one being about 63 years old. And you can also buy them in the aquarium trade for about $120. I definitely wouldn't. Definitely would not buy this fish. But where the real money is for this fish is for the guided fly fishing trips. Those can cost around $500. That's the big income from these fish. Now for the interesting fact that we're going to end the video on, how tarpon develop. So Atlantic tarpon actually have 3 different life stages that they go through. And when I say life stages, you think about, larva specimens and things like that. And a lot of fish don't actually have these. They kind of hatch into small fish and then they just kind of grow from a semi-larval stage from there. Well, tarpon actually have a progressive stage. First, they have an egg, and so how Atlantic tarpon spawn is they are pelagic communal spawners. They basically just get in a big pile together, they release their eggs, they release their sperm, and then the eggs get fertilized. And then 1 to 2 days after the eggs hatch, they hatch into what is called a Leptocephalus. Now, Leptocephalus, I'm going to show you here. Leptocephalus are actually a really neat thing. Leptocephalus used to be called glass eels, and there's a bunch of different kinds. If you see them, they just look like small eels. So if you can see here, like this is a Leptocephalus. This is probably the most common picture of a Leptocephalus used. It is just really unique and does not look like anything in and of itself, which goes into the fact that Leptocephali actually were originally thought to be its own species and actually described as a unique species until it was discovered that they are actually just larval forms of other fish. Eels are the most common fish that actually use the Leptocephalus stage, but tarpon actually is in that as well. So they have this Leptocephalus stage that actually has large fangs in it, but they're actually planktoniferous. They are actually just going after plankton, and they use their fangs to just eat the plankton. It's a little unclear as to what Leptocephalus actually are eating. It's predominantly thought to be the marine stoat, the little white particles you see in ocean videos. But they will grow from about 6 millimeters to 25 millimeters. And that'll take the course of 2 to 3 months. And then in 2 to 3 months, they will shift to stage 2, where they actually stop growing and actually shrink back down to about 14 millimeters. So they're growing and growing fast, and then all of a sudden they shrink into the stage 2, where they're shrinking and go down to about 14 millimeters. And then after that, they get down to that 14 millimeters, which lasts about 20 to 25 days. They enter their stage 3, which is about here, when they start growing back up. And then when they reach about 40 millimeters, that's when they become juveniles. So right here, this Leptocephalus, they spend 2 to 3 months going from 6 millimeters to 25 millimeters. B and C are stage 2, where they have reached that 25 mil, and then they've shrunk back down to the juveniles, the stage 2. And then they start growing again in D and E, and then when they reach about 40 millimeters, that's when they fully metamorphose into a juvenile. So, I hope you found that interesting. I know I do. Incredible life history. But thank you guys so much again. I really appreciate it. I hope to see you again. Sorry about the sickness, but hey, it is Fish Friday. We'll get a video out one way or another. But thank you guys so much again. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your loved ones. And peace.